Hey, what's up amigos? How you doing? Hope you're all having a great Friday. $10 meals again has come back round, so we're going to be doing ourselves a vegetable chili today. So we're going to help enrich it. We've got some beautiful veggies going in there, so obviously your onions, your garlic, a bit of carrots, we've got some peppers going in there. I'm also going to use some pinto beans, and then we're going to enrich it, obviously, with that cheeky British Marmite. And also I'm going to put a little touch of cocoa powder in there as well, canned tomatoes, paprika, cumin, all those beautiful spices as well. In addition, we're going to do some nice little baked potatoes as well to go with it, and some lime yogurt and some cheese to go in there as well. The first thing we want to do is turn on that oven, so 180 Celsius and 350 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to turn that on for the baked potatoes, because that's going to take about an hour or two to soften up nicely. So we're going to turn that on now. So probably going to go with these two bad boys here. That'll be spare for the weekend. I can use that. Right, let's give these a wash, because they're going to be quite soily. Right, so why are you poking the potato, chef? Just to be safe and sorry, because they can explode in the oven. It's happened to me plenty of times before. So I always poke them and pierce them, just to let out the steam. Right, I need some salt as well. Right, so a good pinch of salt. I'm just going to wrap that little cheeky bad boy up, and the same with the other one. Right, so that's on. That's going in the oven, 2 hours. So 2 hours from now, 10 past 10, so about 10 past 12. So they should be ready. So we need to start getting on with the chili, because that's going to need to stew down for an hour or two as well. 2 onions, well, technically 1 large onion, but I got 2 small onions there, so we'll use those, that's fine. I also want some garlic, top and tail, cut it in half, and then pretty much dice this down. So let's dice this down. Watch your fingers. All right, let's pick down some thyme leaves. Don't want to go too crazy with this, and if it's going to be for the recipe, I'm going to say about a teaspoon or 2 of dried thyme. Garlic, that's what I need to do. Let's pull these out. So these are quite small. So I'm going to say about 4 medium size. I'm going to use a little bit more than this. So for the recipe, I'm going to say 4 medium-sized cloves of garlic. So watch your fingers. Don't grate your fingers or fingernails down, because that's just not very nice, is it? So put this in the sink, give this a wash up. So the garlic is done, thyme, onions are ready. I'm going to need a large pan on. I'm going to start dicing down all those other veggies as well. So I'm going to put this onto like a medium heat with a tablespoon of peanut oil or veggie oil, whichever of preference. Like I was saying, I wanted to remove the stringiness from this. So the best way to do it is actually peel the outside. I'm going to do, just give this a nice little dice down. I'm going to go too thin with it, or too fine a dice. Yeah, just pretty much dice it down. So all those beautiful, lovely veggies are in. So I'm going to saute them down without making too much mess on the stove like I always do. So I'm going to saute them down. You don't want to caramelize them too much. If they caramelize a little bit, that's fine, but careful you don't burn them. Keep an eye on them. If you need to turn the heat down, by all means. Right, so Gordon Bennett, that's a gigantic carrot. I think we just need 1. So 1 large carrot or 2 medium-sized ones. And I'm just going to peel this bad boy down. Now, some people find dicing carrot down a bit of a job, and it is very tricky. So carrots in the inside, as you can see there. That's usually like the fibrous bit in the middle, and it can be a little bit tough sometimes to cut. As long as you've got a sharp knife, you should be fine. But some people do struggle with this. Now, the best way I find, or the comfortable way I do it, is holding on its side, making sure you find a side that is firm, and then you can just like cut down with it. So just cut it into nice little slices. Just you know, don't put too much pressure. If you put too much pressure, you're going to slip, you're going to slide, you're going to cut yourself. So you know, just be very careful. Take your time with it. Make sure it's in its position. There we go, cut into slices. And then we've got nice little slices, and then we can just kind of pretty much slice it up into nice little julienne. And then what we're going to do, chop that bad boy up into nice little pieces. Easy peasy, right? Or carrot squeezy. Watch your fingers. Perfect. Right, so carrots are done. They're going in next. Right. Carrots are in. Give them a little mix around. So I'm just going to turn that down to a low. Keep an eye on it. I'm going to start dicing up that pepper next. Did I take the sticker off, or was there one? Oh, there wasn't one on there. Okay, that's fine. I always do that. Now, lots of people tend to cut them in different ways. This is the way I like to cut it. So basically, you're not really left with a lot left over, to be honest with you. You're just left with the pith if you cut it by cheeks. I've seen other people cut it, or I've cut it before actually, plenty of times. Cut it in half, open it up. You know, you can do it that way if you want. I find that way a lot easier, in my opinion, but that's just my way of doing it. Watch your fingers. And thumb. Keep that thumb tucked up behind. I've done that before in the past when I was like learning to chop with my knife. Had your thumb and then chopped off. Well, I didn't chop it off, but I nicked the top off on it. And ever since then, I've always kept my thumb tucked back. Though I don't think it's on there for recipe, but we can do that at some point. I feel like we need to let that kind of expire a bit before we do that again. So we want 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. In addition, I want about 2 teaspoons of paprika. And if you want to go for smoky paprika, please feel free to do so. In addition, we also want a little bit of kick and spice. So I'm going to go for a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. If you want a little bit more, a little bit less, that's absolutely fine, but that should start it off for the day. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of cocoa powder to add some richness to it. And you might be thinking, what? Cocoa powder? Yeah. So we're going to go for a teaspoon of cocoa powder. Trust me, it's going to work an absolute treat. So, teaspoon of cocoa powder in there. But you're doing it with the veggies and stuff, so it's really going to help add some good richness to it. The Marmite's going to add a nice, beautiful umami kind of flavor to this as well. It's going to make this really Moorish. In addition, I want to get my canned pinto and my can of plum tomatoes, and then we can start cooking this down. And if you want to use kidney beans, black beans, I'm just using pinto for today because I'm in New Mexico. Why not? Beans in. And you can use whichever beans you want. Nice thing to do. It's always a nice thing to do. I don't think we're going to need much water, if any. But let's give this a nice little mix now. It's going to crush some of those plum tomatoes down. And I suppose you could like kind of crush them beforehand if you want, but as it kind of cooks, this is just going to kind of disintegrate and just kind of break down, and it's going to be looking very lovely. So there we go. Look at that already. Almost looks like a normal chili. If you need to top this up with a little touch of water, you can do. I might go for about 100 ml or so. Let me just use the can to get more flavor out of it, and it's good to go. So just about 100, 200 ml of water. So when it reduces down, it's just not going to go too dry. And if you need to top it up in between, that's absolutely fine. Right, so let's dice these down into quarters. Just going to get a tray out next. Sweet potato. So we're going to roast these off, and then pretty much just like kind of add these. Oh, actually, I want to kind of cut those ones in half a little bit. They're a bit too big. And then just kind of add this at the last minute to the vegetable chili. Anyway, we've got our sweet potatoes. I put a little bit of peanut oil in there. We've got some salt in there. I'm not going to spice this up too much because it's going to go in the chili. I just want to roast these off, plain and simple, nothing complicated. So we're going to put that into the vegetable chili at the end. If I put them in now, they're just going to mush up and go messy. So I'm going to roast them off, and then I'm going to put them in like kind of last minute and fold it through. Okay, let's put this in the oven. So we're going to roast that off for about 20, 30 minutes, but careful you don't colour it too much, just until they go nice and soft. I'm going to grate down some cheese, ready for the potatoes. So let's grate this down. Need a little bit of lime yogurt as well. I think I've got some limes left over. Right. So I'm going to need about 4 tablespoons. I'm not going to go too bonkers with this. Depends on how many you're serving up for. Maybe we'll go for 5 if you're serving for a few people. So I'm just going to give this a little cheeky roll. Why do you roll the lime, chef? Why? It's easier to squeeze. So you're softening the all the sinews and the segments in there. So when you come to squeeze it, you'll just squeeze it dead easy. So that's why we roll it. So I've got some Greek yogurt. Cut my lime. I'm going to squeeze that in there, half a lime, and about a teaspoon or so of sugar or sweetness, just to kind of balance it out, because we're putting lime into it. So, and obviously Greek yogurt is pretty acidic anyway. So you just need a little touch of sweetness, not going too bonkers with it. So that's good to go. So let's get it played out. Let's see if these potatoes are done. Yeah, they're done. They're ready to go. They're nice and soft. So what I'm going to do with the potato open that up a little bit. Woo! Right, so I'm going to put that just for a couple of minutes in there, cover it up so it melts. Don't worry, we're going to have more cheese on top. So let's plate up our cheeky chili. Oh, there we go. Woo. We've got that molten cheese in there. Very nice. So just a little bit more cheeky cheese, which I'm hoping it will melt because it's been nice and hot enough, but we'll see. But if you want like a flavoursome vegetable chili, I recommend this chili. You'd be quite surprised how far it'll take it. With the cocoa powder and the Marmite, we'll really enrich it and give it that nice deep and dark flavour. So it works very, very well. So obviously we baked with the potatoes for about 2 hours until soft, 180 Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit. Poked with a fork so they don't explode. Wrapped in foil, bit of salt, easy peasy. We did the lime yogurt, so lime, a little touch of honey, salt, and obviously the Greek yogurt mixed together. Quite simple. And then as for the vegetable chili, so we had a consistency for the vegetable chili. Onions, garlic, thyme, carrots, peppers, bell peppers, sorry. And then we also had celery in there as well. In addition, we put paprika in there, cumin. What else we had in there? Bit of cayenne pepper for kick and spice. Cocoa powder, Marmite. And then we added a can of pinto beans, and you can go for whatever beans you decide you want to have. The can of plum tomatoes, and then we just let that cook down gently and slowly for about 2 hours. Just a little touch of water to stop it from catching and burning, and fantastic. Season it afterwards. We also added some sweet roasted potato slices cut into what, quarters? Yeah. In addition, we also, so after that finished cooking, we grated up some Monterey Jack cheese as well, and then pretty much just finished it inside and on top of the chilies, so can't go wrong with that. And whether you want to do this with sweet potato or just normal potato, you can like play around with it, but it's a super cheap, easy meal. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for all the support as always. You guys are fantastic. I will catch you Monday for some more YouTube action and Tuesday for the Twitch streams all the way up through the rest of the week. But have a great rest of your week. Much loves, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Much loves, amigos, and bye for now.